Avril Lavigne kick lately. You know Avril Lavigne, or is that not? Yeah, that's one of her hits right there. Cody can sing. How about that? I just happened to, there was some live thing she was doing the other day. And I was like, oh wow, I mean, she still got it, man. I don't know now if there's some sort of thing they put on the mic to make you sound like you hit the notes. But I mean, she... Skater boy. Yeah, there you go. But she was spot on, man. I just have a suspicion there's some sort of thing. You just get close to that note and it like makes the note, the software makes it. What? We about the same age. Yeah. Right? How old is she? She's got to be my age, right? Close. Hey, welcome to the closing beat, everybody. Happy Tuesday. She is 37 years old, so we're the same age. We're basically the same age. You know what I mean? Welcome to the closing beat, coming to you from the old Jazz Wealth Studios here. We were doing a little bit of work in our studio. If you've never seen it, actually, we have a camera up. Let me show you. So that's part of the studio right there. That's me over in the background. We're financial advisors that actually said, well, hey, we want to teach. So rather than just like show up at home, let's build an actual studio over there. You got the little Segway down on the ground. That's Cody's desk over there, the wine and wealth area. You can see that the trouble is we didn't know how to build the scale. See my hands in the background there? Like, look how small I am compared to this wall behind me. Lesson learned, right? That's like, what, 12 feet, 14 feet high? We didn't know. You know what I mean? We're not TV people, but we like to teach. So that's why we do these classes and things, and I hope you enjoy. Try to teach you something new, leave all the garbage out of it, and, just see if you can learn something, man. So welcome. Also, it occurs to me, I'm about to turn 40 years old. Is this mic on? Yeah, this mic's on. Oh, the other mic's on? There you go. Sorry about that. See, told you, we're not TV people. I'm about to turn 40 years old, and me and the missus were like, let's get tattoos, right? We'll get some sort of, I don't know, something small or whatever. I don't have tattoos. I've never done that before. And so my mind gets racing. Tell me what you think. This is a little side topic here. I think it's perfect because I'm the only one that can pull this off. On my knuckles, DOHSTRA, because I only got 3 fingers on this hand, see? Does that not work? I mean, granted, people probably wouldn't respect me or anything, but it's like it's asking for that right there. DOH, what? Oh, static. What are we talking about? Sounds great. Sounds great. No? I'll give it a second. Does it go away maybe? Ugh. It's gone, right? Echo's gone. Oh, come on with this. What are you doing? All right, let's try that. There you go. Coming up now. It's getting better. It's getting better. Don't you worry. Right? We fixed it. And there's Charlie. Just making all kinds of noise. It's good, right? It's good. Anyways, let me know what you think. Right? I'm just curious. Probably not something I would do. That's just a little outside my wheelhouse there. But anyways, let's talk about the stock market because that's, more relevant. Right? Ah, come on. Let's go like that. Hold on. Stay with me. There we go. Oops. TV people, man. There you go. Now we're talking. Huh? We're going to do this here. Right? Please don't do the knuckle. Still. Don't do the knuckle, man. I know. It's like a wild. If I was some sort of like rock drummer or something, yeah, right. Like Travis Barker, he could do it, but no, I can't. I can't do it. I'm just like, is that not asking for it? That's asking for it. Come on, man. Well, I don't know what to tell you. We'll just play around with this. We're just going to get through it, right? Because it's not that bad, right? Poppy, huh? I don't know, man. Our sound guy, old Charlie over there. Messing with me. Anyways, let's talk about it here. So, stock market, man. What's going on? Do you guys trust this rally? Do you trust it? There you go. There's the S&P 500 back above the 200-day moving average. Are you buying this here? We're about halfway back, right? So everybody looks at that 50% retracement. We're about halfway back there. That would likely be the next spot in the resistance line there. But like I said yesterday, people like to look for prior resistance to be support. Now you got Jerome Powell throwing out the old 50 basis point rate hike comment out there. Just so you know, 2000 would be the last time that that's actually happened. 0.5% rate hike there. They went from 6 to 6.5% in terms of the rates there. It was just before the dot-com bust, actually, if you're looking back. So it's been a while since we've seen a rate hike of 0.5%, but he's made it very clear he's going to do whatever it takes. Now, let's go over to the stuff here. How does the stock market perform after a rate hike? We just had our first rate hike. Let's talk about that here. We'll go to the charts. There you go. We got some data for you. How does the S&P perform after a 0.5%, after the first rate hike in at least a year? So what I'm showing on the charts here is the first rate hike in as long as there has been a year in between. So it would be considered the start of a new cycle. You can actually see that the 1 month performance, not very good for the S&P, negative 3.2%. This is for all of them, right? The Fed started talking about rate hikes publicly and in real time in 1994, so the data is somewhat limited. But if you go 3 months out, negative 2.3%, it takes some time for the market to adjust to rate hikes, and right now it would seem that the stock market could care less about rate hikes. Does that last, right? Well, I talked about yesterday sort of a bullish case for the markets to move forward. Here's one where you go, ooh, maybe there's room for some chop in there, some back and forth. As far percentage of times that the S&P is actually positive, 1 month going forward, think about this, 1 month going forward after the first rate hike within a year, 1 month forward, there's never been a time where the stock market has been positive. Would this be the first, right? So you're fighting against some real odds there. And so 1 month forward, you got a 0% chance of the market being higher every single time it was lower. 3 months higher, or 3 months later, only 20% of the time was the stock market higher since 1994. You go 6 months in a year, that's where all the excitement happens. 6 months in a year, 80% and 100% of the time, 1 year later, after the Fed raised rates, you have the stock market being higher, and the stock market in this case being the S&P 500. Right? So something to look at there. We will come back to this in a minute because I want to actually cover the sectors of the market. Which sectors of the market tend to perform better than that? Anyways, if you look at the S&P 500 today, it was really a mixed day. I'll be honest with you. Very, very mixed day. I'll go over how you can kind of tell that here in just a minute. There was very little news. It was presumed that any news that came out, whatever happened, it was considered good news out there. The biggest weighted stocks actually led things higher here today. And you know the names. You know the names. Microsoft, 1.6% higher. Apple, 2% higher. Alphabet, 2.5% higher. Amazon, 2% higher. They did all the heavy lifting. They've been doing the heavy lifting out there. Even Tesla, up 8%. A great day for Tesla, but these bigger stocks were the ones doing the heavy lifting because as you work your way down to the smaller weighted stocks, it was just kind of an average day, right? NVIDIA basically flat on the day considering how volatile things have been. Pfizer down 2% on the day. You stick with the healthcare area there. You got Eli Lilly lower on the day. You could do some energy stocks like Occidental Petroleum. They were lower. Back to semiconductors. AMD was lower on the day. AON Hewitt was lower on the day if you're going to look at some of the insurance, finance kind of stocks. So it was a mixed bag under the surface, right? Big time stocks, the ones everybody likes to look at. Hey, Facebook, right? Up 2.5% on the day. That's where all the action was, something to keep track of there. Now, year to date for the S&P 500, we are sitting at a loss of only 5.2%. We are now up over 6% since the start of the Russia-Ukraine invasion there, right? So we're actually positive going into what's pretty nasty around the world, right? Kind of interesting, I thought. Oh, well, we stay here. Okay, no problem. I think it's the, so this thing was saying before we started, it wanted me to restart and update and all that. Maybe screwing with us there. We'll fix that. Let's take a look at the NASDAQ here, and we'll stay right here where the audio is good. So on the NASDAQ there, big tech, Big tech led the way. It's those big names that I just mentioned there just a second ago. If we take a look a little bit deeper there, biotech. Biotech also, where the excitement's at. IBB is an ETF you can use to look at that if you like the biotech stocks. I despise the biotech stocks, so I will not look at these. I just like to give you somewhere to take a look if you are bouncing around. The Dow back above the downtrend there, looking pretty good as well. And the Russell, look at that. Look at the Russell hitting spot on to the upper resistance area. Call it whatever you will. But again, you draw lines on your charts, people go, that's silly, man. What are you doing? I don't believe in the lines. I believe that other people believe in the lines. That's the magic of what's going on there. So look, it's telling you it wants to trade in a technical behavior right now. You got to respect that. Anyways, sector-wise today, there was only one sector that was lower on the day, and that would be energy, right? Yeah, slight down move in energy because you had oil down 1% on the day. Remember, if you're going to buy the first bounce after a climactic pullback, you better be quick, right? Take your profits quick there. I'm not saying oil can't go higher. I'm just saying those are the types of trades you got to be real quick on there. Other than that, everything was higher on the day. Consumer discretionary was the best performer, back up to the 200-day moving average. It was up 2.5% today. And communication services, these two basically duked it out throughout the day for first place there. Financials, again, higher as well. They like the higher rates. Well, we believe they like the higher rates. That is not always historically true. Tech stocks back up to the 200-day despite bonds. Yields moving higher quickly, right? Look at how sharp that move is. Remember, when bond prices move lower, yields move higher. So you're looking at the inverse of this. If you want to say, did yields go up or down today? Prices go down. Yields go up there. Short-term, long-term, doesn't matter where you're looking in terms of rates. They are all moving higher. They have more than baked in every single rate hike that the Fed could possibly consider doing this year. So that's pretty impressive there. Now, let's talk about the sectors here. We'll go back over to this guy. There you go. Here's the sector performance after the first rate hike. Right, so we went back and we looked. 1994, we took a look at every single sector, accounted for telecom in there as well, and made that communication services there. Now, what we're looking at is the red is 1 month, blue is 3 months, black is 6 months, green is 1 year. So if we take a look at every single sector after the Fed raises rates for the first time, here's how each sector performed. Let's start with a 1 month. Every single sector lower after 1 month. You would argue financials and healthcare did the worst. Of course, you got the data on that one there. Technology does the best here, and consumer staples the second best there. After 3 months, it's not much better, but you start to see some rising stars here. Communication services and telecom prior to 2014, I think. 5.5%. Consumer discretionary down, staples down, energy with a slight gain there, financials down, healthcare down, everything basically down, but a couple little sectors start to peak out and show you they're willing to bounce. First, if you go through 6 months after the first rate hike there, the best performer is in fact communication services or telecom prior to that. Looking across, look, now it gets better. Healthcare, the only sector, that's the black we're looking at there. Healthcare, the only sector that shows 6-month performance after a rate hike as being negative. And then, of course, you go 1 year out, and it's as if we never had a rate hike, right? Nobody seems to care. Every sector performing well, every sector in the green. So if you're looking at which sectors to participate in as the Fed raises rates, you may want to snapshot this chart here and take a look at what things are going to be weak at the beginning of a rate hike season or pattern, what do they call it? Rate hike cycle, and which sectors tend to start performing well towards the latter part of a rate hike cycle, if that's something you're interested in. All right, that's what we have there. As far as the office trades go, we do our classes Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. If you're interested, go to jazzwealth.com/research. We do the live classes. We show the trades there live and in real time. Of course, in our office trades account, keep in mind that if you join, not every wine and wealth is available. I got hit with a stapler the other day because I told you that wine and wealth is available every time. No, there are sometimes if you're a client, it's available, and sometimes if you're only a research member, it's not available, but not because we're hiding anything from you. It's because we're just going to talk about client stuff that night in terms of the portfolios and all that great stuff. It doesn't apply, right? So we're just trying not to bombard you with emails and stuff like that. Anyways, it was easy for me to tell that the stock market was a mixed bag today and that only the big stocks were leading because we're mostly short in our portfolio. We're getting increasingly short, and we had a profit today, or at least we had an unrealized profit. I didn't take anything new. So that was the first part there. You can kind of go, why? We should be losing money with everything being so strong today. Well, not everything was strong today. So a couple things that I just did today. I put on Visa and Caterpillar as far as more short positions. We'll cover those tomorrow in the class for you. And then also there's a really interesting divergence between the S&P 500 and bonds. And I'll use the TLT as an example. So we're going to talk about that divergence in price between the two because it's a little wild. It's getting a little out of hand. There's some data that shows that that's not supposed to stay like that. So we'll play some trades tomorrow and explain how all that goes. Let's try the new highs today. How's that sound? Hopefully the new highs page sounds good. We usually don't have any problems with this page. There were 23 new highs. There were 0 new lows. Again, there were no new lows yesterday, but it's all the same names. Like, what do you do here? Travelers Insurance, we talked about when it broke out, and it's still just plugging along doing the same thing. PBCT, People's Bank, you've got, or People's United, right? Look at that. Little breakouts of new highs. I don't know. It's interesting. Is there something new to do there? The insurers still enjoying their move after finding out Warren Buffett is buying an insurer, so that's doing well. Pioneer Natural Resources. Oh, I'm sorry, I typed the wrong symbol. PXD. There you go. Pioneer Natural back to new highs as well, but again, it's not like a new place to get in. It's just chugging along, making new highs. It's a lot of the same names. John Deere hitting new highs as well. Maybe getting a touch extended. I don't know. Maybe there's something to look at there. We'll keep that on our minds as well. As far as stocks in the news, here we go. Let's get over here. Stocks in the news. ATVI. So not much happening here as they're in the middle of the buyout there with Microsoft. The FTC apparently very busy this time. Looking at them, they want more information on that. Not really a big deal. About a 0.5% move on that one. Where's my Alibaba people? Are you happy now? Everybody looking for Alibaba, trying to find out where the bottom's at. Alibaba says, hey, we were going to buy back $15 billion worth of stock. We're going to make it $25 billion. Just throwing out numbers, see what happens there. Stock's up 11% and more convincingly putting in a bottom for those of you that have been patiently waiting. Nike, back up to the 50-day moving average. Still added 2% on the day, even though it did pull back from that. That was earnings related. Better than expected earnings. Revenue there. Didn't really give guidance there. If you look at their gross margins, that's where all the action was in terms of people getting excited for that. Gross margins were up and very positive for them. I'll point out that Kohl's, KSS, Hudson Bay, I think it's Hudson Bay, is in the runnings to be the ones that take over Kohl's. That's kind of old news that came out right over here, but now we know the names of the front runners, at least at the moment. And GameStop, are we doing this again, guys? Are we doing this? There's no news on GameStop today. It's just up 30%. There's nothing. I got nothing for you. And by the way, AMC, 15%. Are we doing this? You meme stock people out there, you're going to go, is this the beginnings of this? And everybody's going to get excited about it and ask, should I buy the stock? It's up 600%. I don't know if I should buy it. Careful. I don't know what's going on there. I haven't followed it. It's just, I'm sorry, GME. That's just crazy. 30% on the day. And also, I guess I'll just come back over here. The SEC is moving forward with their proposal to force companies to disclose greenhouse gas emissions, climate risks that they face and stuff actually on their annual reports. And it's working its way into being a data point that you would use to pick a stock. So they're moving forward with that. I think there's 14 days or so that they will take comments and see what people want to do about that. But it looks like that's going to happen there. And their argument is that it's not so much that we want to force people to do that so people can see. We want to force it so companies can't lie about emissions or whatever. You already see that with Delta Airlines. So Delta, if you buy a plane ticket through them, and maybe some of the others as well. I was just recently on Delta, and they each flight tells you the greenhouse gas emissions it's putting out. So you could make a choice on a flight based on that, if that meant something to you. Well, more things like that are to be coming. Other than that, earnings tomorrow. Is it Carnival? Carnival Cruise? If they're not out already, it's tomorrow morning, right? I do believe. No, they came out already. That was today. Yeah, that was this morning here. Other than that, that's pretty much it. It was sort of a quiet, small day. But happy to take your questions, see if I can answer any of them. Otherwise, I will get back to work and do my thing. Spring break this week in Florida. It was last week, so it was quite busy last week because I think this year, high school, junior college, and college all had their spring break at the same time. Yeah, old Doc doesn't like DE, huh? I think it's definitely overpriced in the short term here. It's just got to do something with it. Yeah. Roku, was that up a little bit today? There you go. Yeah, 4%. I mean, that's not a big move for Roku considering how it's been moving lately, but yeah, there you go. Yeah. Dustin, I thought you said we could buy Alibaba all day at $100. Yeah, I was saying if you had, oops, there you go. I was saying now that it's fallen to 80, if it rallies back to 100 and 100 was your mark, there you go. You get a sharp rally back to 100, of course. Yeah, that's your chance to take a look at finding a bottom there. I have no problems with that at all. If you're in or been wanting to add to it or something, that's fine. Many companies already released sustainability reports. Yeah. In the sort of platform that we use, it's all over the place. Their ranks and different ESG scores and things like that. It's just kind of the Wild West right now. That's fine if they want to put that on there, but right now it's kind of the Wild West as far as how they determine what scores you get and how you can raise or lower that score. So I think you got to let it settle a little bit. Yeah. Comments from me. Can you let us know every Thursday during a show whether the research members can watch the Wine and Wealth live? Yeah, there's no problem. Also, you would get the alert if it is live for just the research members. You would not get it if it wasn't. So you'll at least get the email ahead of time. I believe that's how it works. Actually pretty confident in that. Yeah. How about them tornadoes? I saw that. That's something. Doesn't really apply to what we're doing here, so I don't have anything to add to it. Do you believe the SPY or the Qs will pull back soon? I would like to see that. I think they're obviously extended here in the short term. It's been a massive move, 10%, more than 10% on the NASDAQ in just the last 6 days. So those types of moves are not consistently going to happen, right? You're not going to see another 10% in the next 6 days and then another 10%. So you have to expect, like we mentioned yesterday, a period of consolidation, just back and forth inside of a range with no real progress. So we'll see. You think those meme stocks are doing their thing? I tell you, that's I hope that's not the case, but based on today, like I was looking for something, like there's no reason. It's just taking off, man. Yep. And then as far as the NASDAQ rally, same thing. It's recovered faster, right? So the NASDAQ is now only down 10% year to date. It was down 20 just 6 days ago. So it gives you an idea of how fast this rally is. If you have some days where the market gains or loses 0.5%, well, that'd still be above average for the market. So keep that in mind, right? Oh yeah. Any opinion? Adobe just reported. Any opinion there? I haven't seen it yet. I did know they were reporting, but I did not see what came out. Stock's a little bit higher on that one. Looks like they missed on their overall guidance. Revenue from media, $3.11 billion. I think the average was they were looking at like $3.09 billion, so it would consider a beat there. They did buy back 3.8 million shares and are continuing to do that, but I haven't seen details there. It looks like they missed a little bit on earnings, but that's not going to be a factor there. And a conference call will start, or has started, actually. Yeah. Yep. Dustin, you still preparing for a bigger pullback? I like this pullback. I just would welcome more. So I'm not saying I don't think the world collapses or everything goes crazy again. But I do think there'll be plenty of opportunities as we wiggle around to scale in. Remember, we were sort of lulled into a weird market for a while where if you didn't buy the immediate pullback, you got left behind. And then an immediate pullback, you got left behind. What happened this year so far? Can't tell you how many people have emailed me, called me, talked to me saying, this pullback didn't work for me. And now I'm in big trouble because a 10% pullback, which is totally normal and not odd at all, got me in some trouble there. So I think there'll be more of that to come. Yeah. I think there'll be more. No hurry. Remember, I've been saying, no need to be a hero. You can definitely scale in a little bit, make some changes and things, but no need to be a hero here. I would still keep that comment. Did we say gold? Just a 0.5% down day in gold. Very little attempt at a bounce in gold, by the way. You got oil at least trying there. A lot of the commodities that did have their quick rally there, they're at least trying to bounce, but gold not doing the same thing. Even silver. It looks like your metals don't want to participate in all of this here. So we'll see. Yep. All right. Cool. I'll wrap it up from there. Sorry about the issues here today. We'll fix that. Make sure everything's good for tomorrow. You enjoy the rest of your evening, and we'll be back tomorrow as well for both the office trades as well as this show. That's what we do. And we'll see you later.